Hello there, my name is Luke and welcome to an explanation of the new playoff structure in the National League North and National League South. So previously it was a case of in all three leagues the top side would go up automatically, but there was only one automatic promotion spot. Then the next four teams, so second to fifth, would compete in the playoffs. Second would play fifth and third would play fourth. There'll be two legs to the semi-finals, and then whoever comes out on top over those two semi-finals would play against each other in the final. However, this has now changed, so instead there is going to be 6 teams in the playoffs instead of 4. There's still going to be one automatic promotion spot, but then there will be 6 teams behind them to qualify for the playoffs. So the strange situation is that you can finish in 7th place and still get into the playoffs. Now that just to me doesn't seem quite right. I know that's what happens in League 2 in the Football League, but there are 3 automatic promotion spots from that league. National League, there are still only going to be 1 automatic promotion spot, yet 6 teams competing in the playoffs. But anyway, let's get into how the actual playoff structure will work. So second and third place will automatically be put through to the semi-finals of the playoffs, which leaves 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th to compete in what is called a qualifying round. So 4th will play against 7th and 5th will play against 6th. This will be one leg at the home ground of the highest placed team. Whoever wins that will then go through to the semi-finals, will play against the team that finished 2nd or 3rd in the league at the home ground of the team that finished 2nd or 3rd, because they have got the higher placed ranking in the table, and that match will be one leg again. And the winner of each semi-final will then go and play against each other in the final, of which that will obviously be one leg as well. Whoever wins that will get promoted. So there are only 2 total promotion spots from each league. This format is exactly the same for the National League North and National League South. The relegation is staying the same as it was previously, so 4 teams will be relegated from the National League, and 3 will be relegated from the National League North, and 3 from the National League South. These changes will be in place from the start of the new 2017-18 season, and they are in place because the clubs have voted for them. These proposals were put forward earlier this season, and all of the teams in the National League were given the opportunity to vote in favour or against these changes. In the National League, 18 of the 24 clubs voted in favour, 4 rejected it, and 2 of them decided not to vote. So from the club's perspective, they definitely wanted these changes. Fans' perspective, fans generally aren't liking these changes simply because there are teams that could potentially finish mid-table and still make it into the playoffs. In the National League South last year, Poole Town, Hungerford Town and Wealdstone did not have good enough grounds to make it into the playoffs, so they finished in 5th, 6th and 8th last season in the National League South, meaning that essentially, if that happened again this year, teams finishing as low as 9th or 10th would make it into the playoffs. You could have a pretty much awful season, be in a relegation fight all season, win your last 5 games, get into like 10th, and just sneak into the playoffs because there are teams ahead of you in the league that don't have a ground that's good enough to make it into the playoffs. You could essentially then, just because your momentum of winning the last 5 games, you could then take that momentum into the playoffs, win through the playoffs and get promoted. Like that to me just means the whole season seems a little bit irrelevant. That teams that have worked hard throughout the year to finish high in the table, they're not rewarded. You could finish 2nd, you could be in a title fight the whole season, and you could end up losing the title on goal difference and finishing in 2nd, yet still be beaten in the playoffs by a team that's been in a relegation fight and then won a few games at the end of the season and then snuck into the playoffs somehow, and then they get promoted instead. Like that to me just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair on the teams and really succeeded throughout the season, because yes, the playoffs, it is a complete lottery. It is a lot to do with luck and mentality as well, and it doesn't represent the whole season, and a lot of people just don't like playoffs in general. I like playoffs, I think they're quite good. They're a good way of deciding who will go up, because it sort of does give teams something to play for. If they're in sort of a mid-table season, they can sort of still sneak into the playoffs, but when literally teams could potentially be in a relegation fight and still sneak into the playoffs if the league is close enough, in terms of the teams that are closest together, then that just doesn't seem right to me. So there you have it, that is it. Hopefully that clears up the new playoff structure. It can be a little bit confusing, but hopefully you do understand it. If there's anything that you don't understand, then do not hesitate to put that in the comments and ask. I will answer it. I'll get around to answering any questions that you guys have. Do you think that it is a good idea? Let me know in the comments as well, because there is sort of split opinions on this. Generally the fans don't like it, but it will be interesting to hear your opinions. So in the next video, I'll be talking about the new promotion and relegation structure in the 3rd, 4th and 5th step of non-league, because there's some really drastic changes going on there, including a new league that's being formed and a total switch up in terms of the number of relegation and promotion spaces. So I'll be explaining all that in depth in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.